My last video, I walked you through 5 what I would consider solid strategies for race day as I was getting ready to go into my half marathon race. Well, that race has happened. It's a couple weeks behind me now, and I'm doing this video to share with you how did the strategies work out. I talked a big game when I was doing my little video. Also, stay to the end. After we talk about the race day strategies, I'll actually share a couple of first time experiences for me in this particular race. A quick recap of those 5 race day strategies. So those strategies were: 1, no vlogging or using my phone during race day. 2, and this is a really important one, none of these are really big, bold, audacious key strategies. They are practical, tested, and useful strategies. So number 2 was define what success means for you. We're all different. We all have different goals. We're all at different stages of our running. We may all be running different distances, and it is important to understand what will be a successful race to you. So define success for you. The third one, have a backup plan for what you plan to listen to. Technology can be tricky. 4, and this is a hard one. It's easy to say, but sometimes hard to do. And it is leave your worries at the start line. Trust the training. And 5 was own it. You're in charge. This is your race. Make it happen. Let's see how those race day strategies held up under pressure. There are some surprises. Because these little strategies are so interconnected and woven throughout the entire race day, I'm going to mix up the order a little bit for this video just to allow telling the full story. Having said that, we are actually starting with number 1. I've been logging my training for the 10 weeks, and I always have my phone out and I'm taking videos while I'm running and doing some chatting. I'm not going to do that during the race. I'm really going to just concentrate on the running and trying to get the best run I can. Yeah, about that. Here I am, not even 2 kilometers in, and hauling my phone out to get some video. But I quickly reminded myself of what my strategy was and put the phone away. And there were lots of opportunities to get footage from the event photographers. And their footage is much easier to watch than my shaky jumping footage. So here I am, coming around the corner. So strategy number 1 started out as a bit of a fail, but I think overall turned out to be a success. Let's jump to strategy number 3. To have a bit of a backup plan. And so I always listen to a podcast. I don't often listen to music, every once in a while, but I have a playlist of music ready to go. But I also, part of my strategy is, okay, what if my earbuds malfunction or I have an issue with that, which has happened before. So I'm good to go and understand that if that happens, don't flip out about it. Just take in the surroundings and keep on moving. Don't mess with them. Don't frig with them. So if I hit something and I mess up my songs, I've already decided I'll take maybe 10 seconds to walk and try and figure it out. And then if I can't figure it out, just put the phone back in my pocket and forget about it because I don't want to waste time messing with that. So this turned out to be a very helpful thing to think about before the race. I did not have an issue with my listening technology, but I did end up having an issue with my watch. And for the first time ever, my watch defaulted to just tracking the laps and showing me what lap I was on. And so I couldn't see the continuous accumulation of my distance, which I've never had that happen on my watch before. And so I was scared to touch it or mess with it because I didn't want to stop the watch or mess it up. And I've just not seen that happen on my watch before. So I'd like to say, no, I played it cool and wasn't frustrated with it. I did have a few minutes of frustration and was kind of panicky about it because it is important, even though there are flags, distance flags along the route, if you happen to miss it, you don't know where you are. And so I did have a few minutes of kind of panicking and thinking about it. But then and I tell you, this is the honest truth that having these strategies really got me refocused quickly. Because I had a strategy for technical issues, I just used the same response to it. Is that, okay, you know what? I can't really do anything about it. I'm not going to waste time. And more importantly, I'm not going to waste energy on trying to figure this out or fight with it. And so I just tried to keep a little more attention on what flag, mile marker, or kilometer marker I was going by. I got very mixed up between, I think it was kilometers, I can't really remember now, 14 and 16, that I thought I was at 16 at once, and I thought that, but I was only at 15, and then I got a little mixed up. But other than that, it was okay. I could see my pace just at the end of each lap, and so I was a little thrown off with that, but it was okay. And I am so glad I planned for some technology failure. So we don't want it, but plan for failure so that it doesn't seem so shattering or important when it actually happens. I can say for absolute certainty that if this had happened to me a few years ago in some of my younger racing days, I would have wasted very precious energy on being frustrated and annoyed with it, and maybe even trying to stop to fix it. So I would say a passing mark for this particular strategy, and one that I will continue to incorporate. Strategy number 4. When I get to the start line, don't overthink it. Leave all of my fears, my anxieties, my worries at the start line. I need to take comfort and confidence in the fact that I have trained for this. I have followed my training schedule. I am ready for it no matter what the next 21 kilometers bring. I have trained for it. So this next little clip is me the morning of the race. Not quite to the start line, but on my way. I can feel my anxiety vibrating off me as I watch this video. It is race morning. I am a bundle of nerves, have gone to the bathroom already 3 times, and I'm sure we'll visit some porta potties from here to there. We have about a kilometer walk to get to the start line, so we're gonna head out. It's about 7:30. Race starts at 8:20, so we're gonna just meander up there and get a little warmed up. It's a foggy, cool day, +8, I think. Feels like 3 degrees Celsius. So it's cool and it's raining, but it was supposed to be really windy too, and I don't think, it doesn't look that windy. Here's hoping. Okay, this will be it until the finish line. I probably won't be taping anymore. Well, maybe a little bit more. We made it to the start line and we were just waiting it out. 30 minutes to go. And as the last few minutes started to kind of wind down, I thought, oh my goodness, I better go to the porta potty. I thought I had time. We misjudged the line, the wait, the time. This still makes me laugh. This was a very close call. I sprinted from the porta potty to the start line. I tried to move up and I was looking for the 2:15 pace bunny. I didn't get anywhere close to them. We didn't have time. The race started. You can see people are starting to move, and I was just getting into place. And then we were off. And so it took a little bit for the adrenaline to settle down and for me just to realize, okay, the race has actually started. I need to get myself in check and focus on what I have trained for. And this is the great thing about having a plan or having a strategy, because this one kind of aligns with planning for failure. That whole porta potty incident and racing to the start line was unexpected. But it didn't take me long to kind of settle myself after I started to run. This is a tough one to assess in terms of pass fail. And I don't think it really is a pass fail. I don't know that I left all my worries exactly at the start line, but you know what? Once I started to run, and within the first few minutes, maybe the first kilometer, I settled into the zone and felt good. And how we talk to ourselves really does matter. That internal voice is very strong. And I actually remember saying to myself, okay, we've started, yep, a little unsettled and not how we expected, but now it's time to drop the weight of the worries. We're not bringing them on this run with us. So, when applying a strategy to something that you're trying to achieve, remember to feed yourself words that move you forward. Despite my shaky start, I would say this was a strategy well executed from my perspective, and I felt good about it. Because we've mixed the order of these strategies up a little bit, we'll do number 5 now, and that will leave one more to do. And I always say, lead your living. You're in charge. No one else is coming. And that is probably number 1 for me, to know that this is my race. It is up to me to make it happen, however it goes. The one little thing that I am a little worried about and I have absolutely no control over is the weather. I'm good with snow. I'm good with cold. I'm good with kind of warm. I don't want it really hot. But what I'm not good with is rain. To start this race in the rain will be tough. But I have to start thinking about that now and start preparing for that. And then a close second to the rain would be wind for me. So anyway, it is a possibility. It's spring in the Maritimes, and it could bring any one of those scenarios. So, okay, we thought the rain would hold off, but it has not. It is rainy and windy. Yeah, definitely not the weather I was hoping for. My feet were soaked before the race even started. There were some sections, though, that were nice and sheltered from the wind for a few minutes at a time, but we honestly battled wind and rain for the entire race. Even my sneakers were struggling. These sneakers were only 3 weeks old, maybe 4 weeks old, and they had no holes in them before race day. What was that strategy again? You own this race, make it your race, make it happen. I wanted to write the words, make it happen on my hand, just to remind me that I'm in charge. No one else is going to do this for me. And so I meant to, on race morning, write on my hand, make it happen. And I forgot to. But the fact that I had planned it and I thought it through, it still worked for me. Because you know when you look at your hand and you can see the shape of the M? When we were kids, we'd always look at your hand. Oh, if you had an M, that meant you were going to get married. Anyway, there's an M on the palm of my hand. And that's what I started to do. I would open my hand and look at it when I was really struggling, and I would look at that M, and that would be a signal to me, make it happen, Angela. Push harder than you think you can push. You may think you're tired, but this is it. This is what you trained for. Of course it's going to be hard. Of course things are going to hurt. Of course you're going to feel exhausted. And I would look at my palm of my hand, and I'd see that M, and I would just, it was like it was written on my palm, make it happen. So that's a good tip for somebody if you need inspiration through the run. Put a little, whatever your mantra or whatever your message to yourself, a message of inspiration could be on the palm of your hand. And at least give it thought, because if you forget to write it, you can just imagine it when you look at it. Thinking lots about this strategy prior to race day, I think saved me in this race. I cannot tell you how many times I repeated this over in my head, especially the make it happen. Own it. You're in charge. This is your race. So I'm going to give myself a passing grade for this particular one. And we are on to our last race day strategy, which was actually number 2 in the original video. Think about what success means to me in terms of finishing that race. This will be different for every single person. Your definition of success is meaningful to you, not to other people. This is yours. Take the time to define what success will look like for you. This is what I landed on for my definition of success for this particular race. Finish healthy, feel good, feel strong, know I did the training, and to have a good, respectable pace. This is the end of the race that you see here, and despite having some tough moments, I definitely finished healthy. I think this is that moment that I really did feel like I gave it my best effort. As I realized this was wrapping up and that was the end, I can say 100% I felt good at the end. The best I have in any other race. And hit my target time, which was a bonus. In a world that often feels chaotic and competitive, remember that you don't need other people to understand your goal, but you do need to be very clear on what is meaningful to you. I'm going to give myself a pass on this one, not because everything went perfectly, but because I did have a very clear definition of what success meant for me at the end of this race. Give some thought. What goal are you chasing? No matter how many races you run, we always learn something, and this one was no exception. So a couple of things that happened in this race for the first time ever for me. One was I actually walked a couple of times. When I was I could feel myself. I just felt I was pushing, and I could feel myself. I was worried that I was going to hit the wall. And so I actually took some time to walk. That was always a big no-no for me. Never would I intentionally walk in a race. And I did, I think probably 3, maybe 4 times through the race. I took a little walk break. I closed my mouth. I tried to breathe in and out through my nose just to kind of get everything settled and to get my muscles well oxygenated. And you know what? It made a huge difference for me. That will be a strategy going forward for sure. In addition to walking, the other thing that was connected to the nose breathing is for the first time ever, I wore my nose strip in an actual race. I'm usually too embarrassed to wear those in anywhere that could be considered public. I like to use them on my training runs, but this is the first time ever in a race, and they make a big difference for nose breathing. Another first for me was a little porta potty incident. You've already heard that story, so I won't repeat it, but it was definitely a first for me to be sprinting to the start line in the last seconds. And this was a great first. I have never taken advantage of the massage tents after a race. Oh, it was glorious. I've never actually even had an official massage before. I've never gone to a massage appointment. So it was lovely. And you can see how awkward it was. I said to her, I said, am I supposed to put my head in this thing? I've just never gone for a massage. I will be doing that again. So this is actually, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if I'm in the camera here, but this is actually my Blue Nose shirt that I got that day. I love this shirt. Still do small, medium, large, but you had a curvy option. And so my shirt was the ladies curvy. I'm not built like someone you imagine in your head when someone says, oh yeah, they've been running for 25 years. You're kind of thinking of somebody maybe tall, thin, slender, petite. That is not me. That's not how I'm built. And ladies, let me tell you, if you are a little curvy, finally, a race shirt that fits. This video and this video series was about my own experience training for a half marathon and then finishing the half marathon race. But you do not have to be a runner or competing in a half marathon to pull some of the lessons out of out of these experiences. No matter what you're trying to achieve or what your goals are, it's important to have a bit of a strategy going forward to guide you. A strategy is not intended to be a script. It is intended to be a compass. It guides you when you start to drift or get a little bit off track, and it keeps you moving forward when you need to keep moving forward, even when you're not entirely sure how best to do that. Chase your goals. I'll leave you with a few pictures from the weekend. We're having a little picnic, just like old people. When you're a celiac, you sometimes have to pack your own food just to be safe. And that means on race day, getting a toaster in your room for your gluten-free toast. And packing a little reward for when it's all done. Would love to hear what goals you're chasing. Leave a comment below. And if this video resonated with you at all, please give me a like, subscribe, follow me for future videos, or check out some of the old ones. See you on the next one.